Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Today, we are going deep into the world of American coins, exploring a piece that looks small in size but carries a huge story, the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from the year 1974. If you've ever held a quarter in your hand and thought of it as nothing more than spare change, then this video is going to change the way you see coins forever. The Washington quarter has been part of American history for generations. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of the nation's first president, George Washington, it replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a favorite in circulation. Over the decades, it has been produced in massive quantities, but within those millions are hidden gems, coins that are worth far more than their face value. And among them, the 1974 quarter stands out for reasons you'll soon discover. Let's start with the design. On the front, the obverse, you'll see the bold profile of George Washington. His image was designed by sculptor John Flanagan, capturing Washington's strength and dignity. Above his head is the word Liberty, and right beside him, the phrase, "In God We Trust," a reminder of America's founding principles. Beneath his profile, you'll find the date, 1974, etched in clear detail. Every single letter and number on this coin matters to collectors because any difference, even the tiniest variation, can change the coin's value dramatically. Turn the coin around to the reverse side, and you're greeted by a powerful symbol of America, the bald eagle. With its wings stretched wide, the eagle stands proudly, clutching arrows in its claws, representing strength and defense, while just below, the olive branches remind us of peace. Surrounding this design are the inscriptions, United States of America, and quarter dollar. Simple, yet iconic, this design became an unforgettable part of American money for decades. Now, you might ask, if millions of these were made in 1974, what makes some of them so valuable? The answer lies in three key factors: the mint mark, the condition, and potential errors. Back in 1974, quarters were produced at three different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Quarters with no mint mark were struck in Philadelphia. Those with a small letter D were made in Denver, and the ones with an S were struck in San Francisco, often as proof coins intended for collectors rather than everyday circulation. These mint marks, just tiny letters on the coin, play a massive role in determining rarity and desirability. Condition is another critical factor. Coins are graded on a scale known as the Sheldon scale, ranging from poor, which is basically a worn-down piece of metal, all the way to mint state, which is a coin that looks as fresh as the day it was struck. A circulated 1974 quarter you might find in your pocket change today is likely worth no more than 25 cents. But a coin graded at mint state 67 or higher, with flawless surfaces, no scratches, and brilliant luster, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Then, of course, there are errors. Mint errors are like the wild cards of coin collecting. These can include double strikes, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or even unusual compositions. Some quarters have been found with doubling in the inscriptions, or with unusual metal content due to mistakes at the mint. Such errors make a coin incredibly rare because they are truly one of a kind. Collectors go crazy for them, driving prices to incredible levels, and here's the best part: many people have no idea that they might be holding one of these treasures. Imagine finding a 1974 quarter in an old jar of coins or tucked away in a box that hasn't been opened for years. To most people, it's just spare change. But to someone who knows what to look for, that same coin could be a hidden fortune. Auctions across the country have proven just how sought after these coins can be. Collectors from all walks of life, from beginners to seasoned numismatists, gather to bid on coins that look ordinary to the untrained eye but hold extraordinary value. It's not just about money, it's about history, preservation, and the thrill of owning something that very few people on earth possess. So, what does all of this mean for the 1974 Washington quarter? The truth is simple: while most are only worth face value, the rarest and most perfect examples, especially those with unique features, have achieved stunning prices in the numismatic world. And now for the moment you've been waiting for. In one remarkable case, a 1974 Washington quarter dollar, in pristine condition and highly graded, reached an incredible value of $30,000, think about that for a moment. A coin that was once worth just 25 cents, the cost of a gumball, a soda, or a phone call back in the day, now standing as a treasure worth $30,000. That is the magic of coin collecting. So the next time you come across an old quarter, don't just toss it aside. Look at it closely. Study the details, check the date, search for errors, and pay attention to its condition. Who knows? You might be holding the next hidden gem, a coin that could turn out to be worth far more than you ever imagined. Coin collecting is not just about value, it's about stories, history, and the thrill of discovery. The 1974 Washington quarter proves that even in the smallest, most ordinary things, there is extraordinary potential waiting to be uncovered. Coin lovers and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating stories in American coinage, a small piece of change that many people have probably held in their hands without realizing its hidden secrets. We are talking about the United States Washington quarter dollar minted in the year 1982 with the Denver Mint mark. At first glance, it might just look like any other ordinary quarter. George Washington's portrait on the front, the eagle design on the back, the familiar silver color, and the familiar weight in your palm. But here's where the story takes a turn. The 1982 Washington quarters are special for more than one reason, and some of them can be worth far more than just 25 cents. Let's set the scene. The year was 1982. America was changing, technology was moving forward, and even the way coins were produced saw a major shift. That year, the United States Mint stopped making official mint sets. This meant that collectors who usually relied on those uncirculated mint sets to get pristine coins didn't have that option anymore. Suddenly, quarters from 1982 were only available through everyday circulation. And when coins go straight into circulation, they pick up scratches, dings, and wear almost instantly. This is what makes high-quality examples from 1982 so rare. It's not that the coins weren't produced in large numbers, it's that finding them in nearly flawless condition is almost impossible. And if you've been in the collecting world for even a short time, you know that condition is king. A coin in ordinary circulated shape might still only be worth face value, but once you move into uncirculated territory, the story changes dramatically. Now, let's talk about the Denver Mint mark, the little D you'll see just below Washington's neck. The Denver Mint produced millions of these quarters, but again, because of the lack of mint sets, uncirculated survivors are far scarcer than you'd expect. Collectors today search through rolls, boxes, and collections, hoping to find a crisp, clean 1982 D quarter that hasn't been worn down by decades of pocket change life. Some of these coins also carry small striking errors or unusual characteristics, which can raise their desirability even more. Misaligned dies, double strikes, off-center errors, and weak strikes can all transform what looks like a regular quarter into something that collectors are willing to pay serious money for. The hunt for these varieties adds another layer of excitement to the story of this coin, but the crown jewel of the 1982 D Washington quarter is the combination of condition and rarity. Imagine a coin that has survived over 40 years without losing its luster, its sharp details still crisp, with no distracting scratches or wear. These gems are the ones that light up auctions and get collectors buzzing. It's coins like this that remind us why treasure hunting in pocket change is so thrilling. That quarter you toss into a vending machine could actually be worth hundreds, even thousands, if the stars align. And in the case of the 1982 D Washington quarter dollar, the most pristine and rare examples have reached unbelievable prices in the coin market. So how high can the value go? While most examples might fetch a few dollars in uncirculated grades, and perhaps a few hundred for the sharpest survivors, there have been cases where this humble Denver minted quarter has amazed everyone by selling for an eye-watering sum. Yes, believe it or not. A perfect example of the 1982 D Washington quarter has sold for an astonishing $25,000. So the next time you find a Washington quarter from 1982 with that tiny D mint mark, don't just drop it into your pocket. Change jar. Take a closer look. Who knows, you might just be holding a treasure that could change your life. Today we are going to take a fascinating journey into the world of American coinage, focusing on one very specific piece that might already be sitting in your pocket, your drawer, or your coin jar at home. I'm talking about the 1997 Washington quarter with the P Mint mark. At first glance, it's just a regular 25-cent coin. But behind its simple design lies a story of history, rarity, and even the possibility of hidden treasure. Let's begin at the beginning. The Washington Quarter series first appeared in 1932. It was created to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. For the obverse, or front side, sculptor John Flanagan designed the now iconic portrait of Washington. On the reverse side, for most of the 20th century, the coin featured a bold eagle, wings spread wide, standing as a symbol of American strength. By the time we get to the year 1997, the design had become deeply familiar to Americans. Millions carried it daily without even thinking about it, but the United States Mint never simply presses coins into existence. Every coin tells a story about its time, its place of minting, and the small variations that come with the striking process. The 1997 quarter we're talking about was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, as shown by the small letter P stamped just above the date. Now, the Philadelphia Mint has produced billions of coins over the years, but even in a large mintage, not every coin is exactly the same. That's where collectors get excited. You see, when a coin leaves the mint in perfect shape, shiny, flawless, every detail of Washington's portrait sharp and clear, collectors call that mint state. These are the coins that often fetch higher values because they look as if they were made yesterday. But most quarters we see in circulation have gone through years of use. They've been rubbed, dropped, passed from hand to hand. They lose their shine, the details blur, and their value drops back down to ordinary. Now here's the fascinating part. Even in the world of mass production, mistakes happen. And when mistakes happen at the mint, they often create some of the most valuable coins on the market. In 1997, a number of interesting errors were produced in quarters. Some coins were struck slightly off-center, leaving part of the design missing. Others displayed doubling, known as a double die error, where the numbers or letters appear doubled, giving the coin a ghostly effect. In extremely rare cases, a coin might even be struck on the wrong type of metal blank, called a wrong planchet error. All of these variations transform a simple quarter into a collector's dream. Let's imagine for a moment. You're holding a 1997 quarter, and at first it just looks ordinary. But when you tilt it under the light, you notice the date or the letters look doubled. Or maybe the rim looks uneven, as if the design shifted. That small detail could be the difference between a coin worth only face value and one worth hundreds or even thousands. That's why coin collectors spend so much time studying the tiny details. It's not just about the money, it's about the thrill of discovery. Condition is another major factor. Coin grading agencies like PCGS and NGC carefully evaluate coins and assign them a grade. The higher the grade, the closer the coin is to perfect. A grade of MS-60 is mint state, but an MS-68 or higher is nearly flawless and extremely rare. Only a handful of coins survive in those upper levels, and when they appear at auction, collectors are willing to spend astonishing amounts of money to own them. For the 1997 Washington quarter with the P Mint mark, most examples you'll find are only worth their face value. A worn coin from circulation is still just 25 cents. But if you discover a high-grade example, shiny and preserved, you might see it bring $20, $50, even $100. Add an error variety, and the value grows even higher. Collectors hunt for those because they're not just coins, they're pieces of minting history that slipped past the quality control of the United States Mint. But here comes the most thrilling part of the story. Out of all the 1997 quarters, one particular coin stands above the rest. A nearly perfect example, graded at the highest levels of mint state, with flawless luster and sharp details, went to auction. Collectors knew immediately this was no ordinary quarter. It was the best of the best. Bidding began, and as the price climbed higher and higher, the true rarity of the coin became clear. Finally, the hammer dropped, and the winning bid stunned everyone. This ordinary-looking quarter, the kind you could mistake for pocket change, sold for an incredible $22,000. That's right, $22,000 for a single Washington quarter from 1997, struck in Philadelphia. A coin that started life as pocket change turned into a treasure worth more than some people's cars, and that is the magic of coin collecting. Every coin has a story, every detail matters, and sometimes the smallest discovery can lead to the greatest reward. So the next time you get change from the store, don't rush to spend it. Look carefully. Study the date, check the mint mark, examine the details. Who knows, you might be holding the next hidden treasure waiting to be discovered.